Hi. So I was getting ready for bed and I just thought, let me do a video about grief and theology and God. So those of you who know me personally, or those who follow me, know that God, well, for a long time, religion was like a huge part of my life. And then I came to the realization that it's not about religion, but it's about the person, the being of God. And yeah, so if you're on any of my social media or whatever, you probably know about the death of my stepdad to COVID-19 a week ago. And so it's been a very interesting time. I'm obviously not gonna share everything because it's been quite a traumatic week on many levels, but I'm gonna focus in on me and my spirituality while going through this. So I found it very hard to pray in the last week. Yeah, and I just felt like I felt distant to God. I felt like, so if you're like me, you probably, so I feel everything, super empathetic. I feel a lot, and even with God, yes, I know, like our faith is not based on feelings, but I feel a lot. So even in my spirituality, I feel a lot. So when I don't feel, or when I don't sense God due to whatever, it's very hard for me. So this week didn't really, and I guess because I've been so busy with planning the funeral and, you know, checking in on my mom and sisters, and looking after my kids, and keeping my house from, you know, not getting too messy. It was easy to kind of just avoid feeling, because I was just like, I don't want to feel anymore. I've cried a lot. You know, yeah, so then Thursday came, and it was actually a week on Thursday that he passed away. And my mom was really sad that morning, and then my sister, and then a lot of things happened on Thursday. And then Thursday night around 7, half 7, maybe 8, I put my kids to sleep, and I just lay in my room in the dark, just kind of like, you know, what happens now? Like, where are you? Are you here? And I know, theologically, I know that God is with me. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. So I know, because I've been taught, and I've read in my Bible that God is with us. He never leaves us. So I lay in the dark for ages, listening to some lovely Christian music. I love different artists, but Tasha Cobbs is one of my fave, and other people, Hillsong, and yeah, so lay there, and I just cried and wrote my lovely, and I say lovely because, like, I really meant every word, my lovely post that I posted on Instagram and Facebook. And then since then, it felt like I've opened up to God again. And anyway, the point of this tonight, I think, is, so I was doing my hair. So I spray my hair every night and put some hair stuff, so to keep it moist. Deviating here, but yeah, so I was listening to Tasha Cobbs again. It's a song that she featured on, and it's called Show Us You. And it's just saying, show us you, God, we want you. And then they ask in the question, who do you want God to be? And it just hit me, a thought hit me that, first of all, that no amount of theology can prepare you for trauma. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care. Like, I've gotten so many messages where people are like, read the book of Job and read this and read that. Like, no amount of theology can prepare you for trauma, for pain, for loss, for grief. Yeah. And then even when it happens, no amount of theology can stop you from feeling the pain. Yes, we have hope in a resurrection. We have hope in the second coming of Jesus. We have hope in a God that is bigger than death, that has defeated death already. But no amount of grief and pain, amount of theology can stop you from feeling the grief or the pain. Otherwise, you're not human. Otherwise, maybe you did not love that person. Do you know what I mean? So that's the first point that I really felt God was speaking to me tonight, saying, you know, it's not about theology. Like, you can know all of that, but it's okay to feel, and it's okay to feel pain and anger and whatever else you're feeling. And I know people have told me that. Wise people have told me, feel, and you can talk it out with God and whatever. And then number two, it's about, so yeah, your theology cannot stop you from feeling your pain. And it's okay to feel your pain, and it's okay to feel your anger. But what do you do with all of that anger and all of that pain when you feel it? Because that determines then what kind of person you're gonna be, you know, in the long run. And also yeah, and so for me, I've realized that it's not, and then it's amazing how God works. So the other day, because I've been very angry this week, I was remembering the verse that says, be angry but do not sin. And I said to God, I was like, I don't understand that verse. You know, because I'm like, okay, how do I not sin when I'm angry? And what do, you know, I just said, I do not understand. And tonight, as I was doing my hair, like, God comes in these moments. So he was like, yeah, your theology cannot stop you from feeling pain, from feeling anger, from feeling whatever. But it's what you do with that pain and that anger. And the not sinning, or the not whatever, not letting the pain and the grief and whatever, the anger overwhelm you, depends on what you do with that pain, that grief, that anger. And then not sinning when you're angry depends on what you do with that anger, and who you give that anger to and that grief to. So tonight I am choosing to feel my pain and not allow my theology to stop me from grieving, from feeling my pain. Because there are a lot of Christians who are like, oh, you need to be strong because God says, and you need to be strong because God says that. I don't think that that's how God functions. You know, when Lazarus died, the Bible says that Jesus wept. So it's okay to cry, and it's okay to feel pain, and it's okay to grieve. But then I'm gonna hand that grief and that pain and that trauma, and because it's like reliving. So I never met my dad because he died when I was little, and then and had to grieve for him as a teenager, and in my early 20s I grieved a lot for him. And then now I'm having to grieve again for my stepdad. And so I just wanted to encourage somebody that you feel your pain, you cry, you do whatever, but give it give it to that higher being. For me, it is Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God. And I had that pain. It doesn't mean that he's gonna take it away straight away. I believe that sometimes he can do that, but other times it's a process. He will allow you to work through it, and I think that's important, especially for someone like me, like, because sometimes I can be like all or nothing, and the process, it's in the process. So yeah, feel your pain and then take it to God. Feel your anger and then take it to God. But yeah, it's been quite the week, and I hope this encourages somebody. Yeah, and and encourage me as well, if I feel encouraged tonight, because I felt God again, and I don't feel blocked anymore. I don't feel, I don't feel alone or isolated, because my go-to thing, and I'm gonna end this video, I was hoping for 10 minutes, but it's like 11.5 minutes. My go-to thing for me, like when stuff happens, is actually to isolate. Even though, like, I'm super extrovert, I love to share my feelings, but my initial reaction is hibernate, pull back, and I've done that quite a lot, sadly, this week, with a lot of people, a lot of my groups, a lot of, my people, but I think this releases me to just be like, okay, I can feel, I can do whatever, and I can give it, I can share it to God, even when I'm feeling like I'm not really able to share with a friend or whatever, but also to share it with my friends too, because they're there. That's what good friends are for, to help carry the burden and the weight. Anywho, I'm a talker. I could talk all night, but I choose not to, because I need my beauty sleep before Ezekiel wakes up. Oh my Lord, last night I barely slept. So we're just going through a phase, and maybe a friend of mine was telling me that they can feel the pain, they can feel the restlessness, I guess, in me, and that's affecting them as well. So I'm trying, I'm hanging in there. Please don't tell me to be strong. Like, if I hear be strong, and be strong for your mom and sisters, and don't cry, like, oh. Anyway, love y'all. And then, oh, another least favorite thing is, do not question God. We do not question God. It's a very Kenyan thing, and I've been hearing it a lot, and I'm like, but we can. Like, look at the Bible, like, look at the book of Job, and people love to quote Job and say, yeah, and I see why they do, because there's a verse that kind of says that, but he also questions God, and they have this conversation, and yes, God has to be like, well, who did this, and who created this, and who did that, and whatever, but then at the end it all works out, and I think it shows me that God is able to take my questions. He's able to, yeah, I can question him, not in saying that I'm better than you and I know more than you, but in just saying, this doesn't make sense. Like, what up, God? And I think he is ready. Yeah. Anyway, so bye.